When love stands true, nothing breaks souls. No storm succeeds, no voice divides. Listen before judging, stay before leaving, feel before doubting, wait before walking. This story begins with quiet courage and loud hearts beating together still. They warned me about loving deeply, about hoping endlessly, about trusting fate. They said people change with time, feelings fade slowly, promises die quietly, but they forgot. True love remembers, true love resists, true love remains. I chose you when unsure paths, when dark nights, when shaking faith. I chose you without conditions, without guarantees, without safe endings. I chose you because hearts recognize truth before minds agreed. Every glance spoke what lips feared, every silence screamed what words hid. We were tested by distance first, by doubts later, by people always. People love judging what they never felt personally, lived painfully. They tried planting fear inside minds, poison inside thoughts, walls inside hearts. They whispered lies, wrapped as concern, disguised as advice, masked as care. They questioned intentions, they questioned loyalty, they questioned patience, they questioned endurance, but never once did they question their own emptiness, their own loneliness. We held hands through unseen battles, through sleepless nights, through silent tears. I saw you lose strength sometimes, lose hope briefly, lose smiles quietly, yet you stayed, despite trembling fears, despite heavy pressure, despite breaking points. That is love, not perfection chasing, but presence choosing. Again and again, true love stays. When applause ends, when crowds vanish, when lights dim, true lovely stands without interrupting pain, without correcting tears, without rushing healing. I learned patience from your pauses. I learned courage from your persistence. Every argument taught how deeply we cared. Every tear proved how real this was. We didn't pretend. We struggled honestly. We failed openly. We healed slowly. They called us too emotional together, too attached always, too serious early. But they never felt soul recognition, felt mirrored pain, felt destined peace. Love is not fireworks daily, flowers weekly, words hourly. Love is choice, made every morning, kept every night, honored forever inward. When I doubted, you reminded gently. When you broke, I held firmly. We became shelter, not escape fantasy, not temporary comfort, but lasting home. I saw future hidden in eyes, steady and brave, quiet and strong. A future built on mutual respect, shared wounds healing, shared dreams growing. We promised effort, not easy happiness. We promised honesty, not perfect stories, because fairy tales end after kisses, but real love starts after storms. Storms came hard, winds screamed loudly, paths blurred suddenly, faith shook violently, yet still we stood unseparated, rooted deeply together, grounded in truth. When love is pure and true, no force divides, no fate separates. Distance is illusion, time is test, people are noise, love is constant. I chose you, every single doubt, every heavy moment, every quiet fear, and I will keep choosing you until breath rests, until time sleeps, because separation is for weak bonds, not for souls tied by destiny. If the world stands against us, I stand firmer, holding your hand. If voices rise, I lower ears. Foku, it's inward. Trust, heartbeat, truth. This is confession, not dramatic fantasy, but lived devotion, earned through pain. I am yours, not by words, but by actions, proven through storms. And remember this, when nights whisper fear, when hearts feel tired, when hope feels thin, when love is true, no one separates, no one destroys, no one wins. If you want, they thought silence would weaken bonds, but silence taught us deeper trust. Nights grew longer, questions grew heavier, yet hearts stayed, facing same direction. I saw fear behind your strength. You saw hope behind my scars. We never promised life without pain. We promised presence inside every pain. That promise mattered when days collapsed, when plans shattered, when dreams paused. They watched closely, waiting for cracks, waiting for exits, waiting for endings. But love surprised by standing taller, by holding tighter, by choosing patience. I learned then, love is discipline, love is restraint, love is courage. It stays calm when chaos screams. It stays kind when pride burns. We were tempted to give explanations, to defend feelings, to justify love. But true love needs no audience, needs no validation, needs no permission. So we stopped explaining ourselves and started protecting what truly mattered. You became peace, not loud excitement, but quiet certainty, settled deep inside. I trusted you with fragile parts, with broken memories, with unhealed wounds. You held them without judgment, without comparison, without conditions. That safety changed how I breathed, how I hoped, how I believed. They said love should feel easy, should feel light, should feel simple, but they forgot. Growth feels heavy, healing feels slow, truth feels serious. We grew painfully, but honestly together, never running away, never hiding truth. Every disagreement became a lesson. Every mistake became guidance. We learned listening, overreacting quickly, understanding deeply, responding thoughtfully. That maturity scared those who never faced themselves inside relationships. They preferred drama, temporary passion, short attention, quick endings. But we preferred depth over display, commitment over comfort, meaning over moments, time tested us in unexpected ways, through distance again, through uncertainty again. Yet each test proved resilience, proved loyalty, proved sacred connection. I saw you choose us daily, despite exhaustion, despite pressure. That choice spoke, louder than promises, louder than poetry, louder than vows, because choosing love, when it's hard, reveals real character, reveals real devotion. You never left. When doubts appeared, you never ran. When fears whispered, instead you stayed. Asked questions gently, searched answers together, faced truth bravely. I admired that, more than romance, more than gestures, more than words. Real love grows inside responsibility, inside accountability, inside mutual respect. We stopped chasing perfect versions and accepted beautifully imperfect reality. That acceptance healed parts inside me I didn't know were broken still. I became stronger, not alone fighting, but together, standing against every storm. Storms still came, they always do, but now storms feared our unity, because united hearts cannot be divided by rumors ever, by opinions ever. We learned filtering external noise carefully, seating sacred space, guarding emotional peace. Love became sanctuary, not battlefield anymore, not proving ground, but safe belonging. I looked ahead and saw future, not guaranteed easy, but guaranteed together. That certainty calmed my restless mind, my anxious heart, my fearful thoughts. When people asked, why hold on? Why keep fighting? Why not leave? I smiled quietly, because explanation would cheapen truth, would dilute meaning. Some loves exist beyond explanation, beyond logic, beyond understanding. Ours is one written in patience, signed in sacrifice, sealed in loyalty. I will stand when storms return, when doubts echo, when nights stretch, because love true is not fragile, is not temporary, is not weak. It bends softly, but never breaks. It pauses briefly, but never leaves. So remember this, when shadows whisper, when fear knocks, when hope trembles. If love is true, no one separates, no one destroys, no one wins. We are proof, walking quietly together, defying expectations daily, choosing love endlessly. And I promise, not perfection ever, but presence always, until final breath.